Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, channel leaders, welcome to Tatami Talk. My name is Juan. This is my Uchikomi partner, Anthony. This is a judo podcast for judo players by two judo players. So, Anthony, how you doing? How's the knee?
My knee's good. I'm walking, as I told you earlier. Not going to do judo anytime soon, but I might go start watching some jiu-jitsu classes. Once I can drive, I'll probably show up so I can just watch class.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. Keep up the rehab.
So how's the rehab going for you?
Pretty painful. It's a really weird feeling. If you've never broken a knee or had a knee injury before, it's kind of like you ever had something hit your funny bone before?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that feeling. So when I'm doing my physical therapy, my wife thinks I'm in agony, but in reality, it's like I'm laughing, like because it feels like something hit my funny bone. But it's pretty rough. Yeah.
Okay. Pretty interesting. Yeah, it's funny. I was using some Uchikomi bands. Funny, we were talking about that like a couple weeks ago, and my Uchikomi band actually broke on me. So
really?
I had to go to Daiso, run out, and get just some bicycle rubber band stuff that's used to, I don't know, like just some bungee cord stuff I started using now. And I actually like it a lot. You know, it cost me $1.50. They're pretty easy to use. I think I might put some videos up of how to use them. Just do some Uchikomi stuff with them.
You're competing with Travis Stevens' video, and I think Iliadis came out with a video too.
I did watch Iliadis. I like Iliadis a lot. I watched his stuff. So hey, I'm not trying to be big time. I'm just trying to show some stuff, help out my students. Anybody wants some different stuff? Okay, that's all I'm doing.
Did I tell you I saw him in Japan? Like I was sitting near him.
No, you didn't tell. I know you're sitting next to one of the Mongolian guys.
He was taking a picture with one of the sumo wrestlers, who's the Georgian guy called Tochinoshi, and they were taking a picture together. Because I think Iliadis is Georgian too. I think, right? Yeah. So he fought for Greece, but he's actually Georgian. So they were taking the photo, and
it was a weird adoption thing, you know, that the country adopted him so he could fight for them.
Yeah, I guess I won't go into details since we're going to do a podcast episode about it, but. Yeah, he's a lot bigger in person than he seems. And
really?
He's like freaking huge. And even next to the sumo wrestler, he kind of looked big. Yeah. So I'm just like, this guy's an absolute unit.
You're like, man, I want to fight that guy. I want that guy on the mat right now. All right. So today's episode we're going to talk about is something that gets brought up all the time by BJJ guys or people that just start judo also. They want to hear about this new cool thing called Kosen Judo. That's really not a new thing. It's a very old thing, but it's gaining popularity again. Now, what Kosen Judo is that it's judo, but just with much more newaza. Now, it's not like BJJ where you just start on the mat or on your knees. You have to start standing. And when you pull guard, is one thing that's very different is that when you pull guard, you can't just pull and jump on their hips. You have to pull guard to the ground. That's one of the big differences with that.
They allow pulling guard. That's one of the major differences.
They allow pulling guard. And so a lot of people, when they hear about it, they think, oh, so it's all newaza. It's like, no, it's newaza base more. It's much less tachiwaza, but it still starts standing. And one other interesting thing about Kosen Judo is that it was started off as like a team competition. It was meant for colleges to do for team competitions. It wasn't traditional rules that you would see like in Kodokan or at the Olympics. They were a separate set of rules for competitions between schools because there was no weight classes. It was just, you get 5 guys, we get 5 guys, and they fight, and you don't know who you're going up against. So instead of trying to, I guess, hurt yourself as much trying to throw somebody, it's like, you know what, let's do some more newaza, something a little bit more safer and easier on us. And that's just how it got started, it seems.
Yeah, so they were mainly practiced by technical colleges, and I think even to this day, like if I go to, that's one on my to-do list when I go back to Japan next time, is to go to Kyoto and train at the Kyoto University, which has a Kosen Judo team.
Yeah, I was looking it up, and there's like only 5 or 6 schools that still do it. That still do competitions.
It's like the former Imperial University, so it's not widely practiced. People think it's like this thing, unless I don't want to offend BJJ people, but unless you count BJJ as Kosen Judo, is the rule sets are pretty similar, given that there's more than one BJJ rule set. But yeah, so Kosen Judo is really interesting. I don't know if I told you this, but when I coach kids, right, and I took them to a tournament once, and this is when they were still developing the Kosen Judo rule sets for USJA, the United States Judo Association. And during the coaches meeting in the morning, they're like surprising us, saying, by the way, we have these Kosen Judo rule sets that we want to test out. Anyone wants to like stick around and try it, just let me know, right? So they actually debuted at first I thought that was the first time they ever tested it, but then later I found out they tested it in Florida somewhere before too. But I didn't stay long enough because like most judo's tournaments, they ran over time.
Yeah, they usually get there at 8, don't leave till 5, you know?
And one of our kids actually signed up for the division, but it took so long that his supposed match, the guy he's fighting against, left and never showed up. So we just all left. But I saw some clips afterwards, and it was pretty fun to watch. Given given that these kids were never taught leg grabs before, so it was still really interesting to watch.
That's one of the big differences also with Kosen Judo is that with modern day Kosen Judo, or the Kosen that you'll see like in Japan or as USJA is trying to do with their own rules, is that they're allowing leg grabs. So you're allowed to do kataguruma, morotogari, or a single leg into ochigari or something, or osotogari afterwards. So you're allowed to do these leg grabbing techniques that people kind of feels like, oh, it's kind of back to basics, like back to original judo. And it's not, because there's a lot more newaza in this that there isn't in real judo. Well, in regular judo, I'll say real judo, but regular judo, it's that if there's no action happening, if no one's not trying to get a pin or trying to get an arm bar or a choke, you're stalling for time, they stand you back up. In Kosen, you're allowed to be there for as long as you want, hold the person down to try to get something.
As long as you're not in the guard, right?
Yeah, as long as you're not in the guard. But here's one thing that people always forget about, that they always don't talk about, they don't want to discuss really, because they want to say it's all newaza, is that, say I'm on the bottom and a guy's on top of me, if I shrimp out and stand up, he has to stand back up. If I choose to disengage from him, I can stand back up and we start back up standing. And there's also really I don't know how they would even look like really, but there's a rule in USJA where if they're entangled and nothing's happening, they will stand you back up. Now, I don't know what that means.
I think entangled, they mean like, let's say they kind of hold your head, but they can't get control of the arm for osaikomi, a pin. And you just sit there. I think that's when they stand you back up, or you can't finish a choke and you're just like kind of stuck there, I guess. Like, let's say
I guess if you have a choke, then you have time to work on it more. I was thinking that entangled in my head. Like I said, we don't know. This is a brand new thing.
Yeah, it's very subjective.
If someone, they have you in guard, and just like in MMA, when you want to stall, you have them in guard, you cross your legs, you grab their head and just hold them down for a long time. And they're not doing anything. You're not doing anything. Well, they might stand you. I think that would be entanglement, in my opinion. But I don't know. Like, I've never gone to one of these tournaments yet.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm interested in trying one though.
I have the rule sets here. It's like,
so
it's barely half the page. Compare this to like the IJF rule sets, which is like this thick, you know?
Yeah.
So let's go through. There's a lot to be improved. So number one, matches will start standing, obviously. Standing attacks with leg grabbing is permitted. We talked about that.
Yeah.
You can guard pulling.
Okay.
Not to mistaken for guard jumping or jump guard.
Like I said, you have to actually pull them down. Not like you're doing tomonagi, but you have to pull them down to the ground. So, you can't just jump on their legs or jump on their hips like we see in a lot of.
Which is dangerous, by the way, for those people who
hyperextended knee or something, break a leg.
Jumping guard is dangerous if you don't know how to do it. All gripping types and grip breaking techniques are permitted, including two-handed grip breaking. So that a lot of people will complain about, oh, judo always gives you shido and penalties for doing this grip or that grip. So a lot of people will like this rule set. I think
you can do the cross grips, you can do double lapel, you can use two hands to break off a hand now, which a lot of people say, oh, it's back to basic judo. It's like real old school right there. It's back to how it's supposed to be.
Competitors will only be stood up if both are entangled in some form of guard, with neither one attempting to improve their position, or if one competitor is left on the mat after the other has stood up and completely disengaged from newaza. So we talked about that. So it will be scored in the following manner.
Okay, that's the interesting part.
Yeah, ippon will be scored for submissions like chokes and arm bars.
Of course.
I think leg locks aren't allowed. Knee bars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think they're allowed.
Okay, but this is USJA's rules then. So USJA rules is not allowing any leg bars, so knee bars,
Yeah, I
hooks,
think
Achilles.
we asked at the coaches meeting whether it'll be allowed, and they say no.
Yeah.
It's like only legal judo moves, basically.
Okay.
No kani basami, no.
No kani. What do you mean no kani basami? If I'm allowed to grab the legs, I can't do kani basami.
No kani basami, no.
Damn you.
No neck cranks, no leg
Yeah,
locks.
Of course. Yeah.
So either win by submission or 20 seconds pin, and Wazari will be scored for high impact throws that would normally reach the standard ippon. So
yeah,
this basically means, I mean, back in the day, like old days, it takes 2 ippons to win a match.
Yeah.
So they're kind of going back to that, but they're giving it a Wazari, so it's just the naming convention, right?
Yeah.
And 10-second pulse, just like regular judo.
Yeah.
So,
no, but the one that's interesting is that so it's just like in Olympic style judo or IJF rules judo, the pin is the same. So it's a 20-second pin for equal both ways, and it's still a 10-second pin both ways for Wazari as well.
Yeah.
So if I throw you for a high impact throw and then I pin you for 10 seconds, I win the match, right?
Yeah, that's basically it. But
or if I want to make the guy really mad, I throw him for Wazari, stand right back up, throw him again for Wazari.
Oh, you could do that.
Straight him.
But what is the standard of high impact throw? Like their standard of ippon is so low right now, it
is weird. I usually like to go back to the old school way that I was taught how to do it when I did the reffing clinic years ago, is that think that if the mat is like a clay mat or a sawdust, and if the throw doesn't create an impact crater, then it's not equal.
Yep.
That's how I always think about it, and that's kind of how I explain it to people. So, like, hopefully we know so during Kosen, if you try to do a rolling throw, a rolling ippon, that wouldn't be anything actually, would it?
Yep. I guess I'm not sure, but I guess not.
No, I don't think it would be.
We'll have to see. This is why we need to see more of these tournaments, I think. So.
Well, it's again to what I was saying with the adults, is that if they really want people to do this and start bringing Kosen Judo back and make it more popular in the U.S., especially at USJA tournaments, since they're trying to bring it back, is that if we have four mats at a tournament, make 2 mats for the kids, for the youth, make 1 mat for the adults, and maybe make 1 mat for Kosen. Yep. So it's all happening at the same time. Because doing this thing, we're going to have the youth, then we're going to have the adult, and then we're going to do Kosen at the end of the day. People are tired. People don't want to hang out. You see that now with the team tournaments, where some tournaments we'll be like, okay, at the end of the tournament, we're doing this team competition.
Everyone leaves.
Yeah, and then you're trying to struggle to make a team, like, oh, so Team Nanka versus Team whatever or something. Team SoCal. Yeah, Team SoCal versus Team NorCal.
So when they were advertising this to us at the tournament, the goal, they didn't mention anything about leg grabs. I think it's kind of obvious that they want to find a way to preserve leg grab techniques, right? But
yeah,
the goal was to get more BJJ practitioners competing.
Okay.
So I think that's what they were aiming for. And
trying to get that BJJ money. All right.
Yeah, basically in turn, make it into a revenue source, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why they have all the gripping rules. They got rid of the gripping rules, not because they think it's ridiculous because of the current gripping regulations, but I think they just don't want BJJ people to have to learn all about the gripping rules.
I guess it's a gateway, get them in here for Kosen, then they'll get some throws, bring them in for judo afterwards. I like it.
And I like it. I think this is good for beginners too, like beginners to judo tournament. They don't have to remember I have this grip, now I have to attack or I'm going to get a penalty or something.
Mm-hmm. Is it 40 seconds or 45 seconds? Oh, I don't know.
5 seconds, immediate, so I think this rule set is very friendly to beginners. It's easy to understand.
Yeah.
And people who say judo sucks because there's no leg grabs gets to do leg grabs here. So yeah.
Fully. You're a wrestler, you got a good morotogari, a good double leg, go in there and hit it. Go 2 good morotogaris, get your 2 wazaris.
Yep.
Wazete ippon, you win.
Yeah, with that said, they have to be more clear, I think, on stalling. Because if you don't have those grip rules, you get these super powerful belts or over-the-head grips. You can just smash the person down.
Yeah.
That's nothing you can do. It's like Shido, you have to.
See, that was one thing I thought was interesting, that when I was looking at the USJA rules, that there wasn't much about Shidos. They didn't talk about what would be a Shido or what they give.
I'm assuming they're just saying like, oh, refer to the main rule sets is basically what they're implying. But then you don't. But then they got rid of the gripping rules. So then how does stalling work? You know?
Yeah.
Because the whole point of the gripping regulations is to prevent you from getting a super defensive grip and stalling.
Well, they didn't go back to the passivity way in judo. It's like if you're not doing any action in judo, you get Shido for it.
Yeah.
The only way, if you're standing and you're being passive, you get a Shido. If you're on the ground, then you're being passive. I don't know if you're entangled or what, they'll stand you back up. I don't know if you get a Shido for that.
But I haven't seen them try this anywhere else after that one time, which is a while ago, even before this COVID thing. So I don't know if it's because they think there wasn't enough people signed up, which is kind of their own fault for running it at the end of the tournament and letting us know like the morning of the tournament. And they didn't really advertise it because I asked about this to other senseis and they're like, no, never heard of it. Like, interesting if they're doing it, but never heard of it, you know?
Okay.
So well, I think they need to do a better job of spreading it and advertising it.
Well, it was, this is the USJA thing. And in Southern California, we're NANCA, like we're part of NANCA. And NANCA mostly does the majority of things through USJF.
Yep.
So the few dojos that do have tournaments, that's a USJA tournament, is, I know Goltz, he's a USJA guy.
Yep.
What tournament was this at?
This is his birthday tournament.
Oh, so it was Goltz tournament.
Gary Goltz.
Yeah, so of course. Yeah, so is Goltz at his dojo. So yeah, he's the only one that has these tournaments. The only thing that I could think of also is that Winter Nationals is a combination of USJA and USJF, but since it is part of a USJA tournament, maybe they could add it there. But it has to be a USJA.
That would be good because it's a big tournament, right?
Yeah,
and it has a big venue. Yeah,
it would have to be a USJA tournament holding it. And in NANCA and in Southern California, it's a lot of USJF, some USA Judo, and a little bit of USA Judo. So that's probably what it is.
I also don't think they need to stick to the Kosen rule sets. Like they should. Like it's nice to have Newaza focused, but I don't think it should go like kind of sacrifice what Tachiwaza we have in Judo too. So
no, I don't think so. I think it's good with having the two throws. You know, you have to do two good throws to get a Wazari. The one thing that if they didn't have it, I would be upset about is the pulling guard thing. I like how when it says in pulling guard, you have to pull guard to the ground. You can't just jump guard on the guy or jump on someone's leg, because we've seen all those BJJ videos where guys get their knees snapped or their leg fractured or something when people do that kind of stuff. And if that wasn't in there, then I would get a person that was a BJJ guy, who knows, blue belt, brown, purple, whatever belt that they are, and they come to the judo tournament and they try to pull guard and they snap my leg like that, I'm be pissed.
Yeah.
So I like that it says in the lettering that you have to pull to the ground. You have to pull guard to the ground. And if you do a bad tomonage but pull me into your guard, that's fine. I'm fine with that. As long as you're not jumping on my hips or jumping onto my knee, okay? Like, look at you. Look at your leg, you know?
Yeah, so I feel like you could have also worked with freestyle judo, right, in a sense, but then there's probably politics involved. But
well, that's another thing right now. So a lot of people are upset with the rules that are with the Olympic Judo Committee right now. You know, the IJF, they're mad at how stuff gets taken out, stuff gets put back in. They change the rules here, change the rules there. People say that it's not the judo that Jigoro Kano invented. It's not the judo Jigoro Kano wanted. So some sense they're coming out with, let's go back to Kosen Judo, even though it's not what Jigoro invented, but it's similar, they think. Another way of thinking is that there's another style of judo out there called Freestyle Judo now. So I've never competed in a freestyle judo tournament. Anthony, have you?
I haven't, but I actually watched some of the tournaments on YouTube.
Okay.
I can't put my finger on it. There's something about it that doesn't seem as dynamic, I guess.
Okay.
It seems slower, the action. I don't know if that makes sense. So I could totally see why IJF does what they do, because they want to make it more attractive to the beginner. But I don't
more dynamic. Yeah.
I don't wrestle, but I have the rules over here. The scoring seems similar to wrestling, so it seems like they take a lot from wrestling. And I would love to compete in one of these tournaments, or even go spectate one of them live to learn more about it. But there's none around me, and every time every time I talk to someone about it, they're like, just go do freestyle judo. Just go compete in a freestyle judo tournament. I'm like, well, the closest one to me was like a 4 or 5 hour drive away.
Yeah, I think there was one near us was in the Midwest somewhere. It was the closest one near us.
So it's not exactly that easily found. So, but here, you want me to go through the rules?
Yeah, why not? Let's look them up. Let's talk about them.
Okay, so how to win. You can win by pawn through a throw or submission.
All right.
Super decision, which is when I was talking about. I think wrestling has this, right? 12-point
decision.
Spread. If you have a 12-point spread from your opponent, then you win. Like you have such a wide gap in advantage points.
Yeah.
It's decision. So if you score more points than your opponent at the end of the scheduled match time, or overtime, if no points are scored in scheduled match time, then a 1-minute overtime will be used for juniors and masters and 2 minutes for seniors. The first contestant to score will win. If neither contestant score any pawn or points, then the referee and match judges will declare the winner based on effective attacks. So it's like
it was like old days when they would pick the flags when you win. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So match time, win by pawn. So scoring. Okay. I'm going to skip most of it. Scoring. 4 points for Wazari.
Wait. Did you say 12 points for Wazari?
No, 4. 12-point spread.
Okay. Oh, so 12-point spread. So 4 points for Wazari. Okay.
4 points for Wazari. 2 points for a Yuko. 1 point for a Koka. So they brought back these old.
Shit.
Yeah, I know, right?
Holy shit, a Koka! Oh man, can I get a Koka, please? Holy shit! All right.
1 point for a turning opponent onto back with control from stable ground position. So like a guard pass, I guess, or a sweep. Right. So you get 1 point for a pass or a sweep, and you also get a Yuko 2 points for pinning for 10 seconds and Wazari for pinning for 20 seconds.
All right.
And so
they don't have Wazari was at the phone then. They don't have that.
I guess they don't. You just have to score the points.
So he had scored a point. So if I throw him for 4 points and then I hold him down for another 4 points.
Yep.
That's only 8 points. You can get some more points.
So you can. I think. I remember when I first read these rules, this was back when the Wazari you can rack them up unlimited. And they rolled it back, thank God, because all the matches I were in were like 30, 40 minutes long. And by the end of the day, you're like done.
Yeah.
So, my problem, I mean, the scoring is just kind of weird, don't you think?
No, scoring's very weird because it seems like every little thing they're trying to give a score to, but trying to also incorporate old judo by bringing a Koka back. And if people don't know what a Koka is, I know if you're kind of newer to judo, you might not know what a Koka is. So a Koka back in the day was almost just like an attempt. If you attempted a throw and got them to the ground, whether they landed on their side or on the belly, you would get a Koka for that.
So if they land on their front, basically, or on the butt, on the side,
Yeah, so but what Koka is they wouldn't add up to anything. They would be like what they call in BJJ an advantage. Yeah. So I can get 5 Kokas on a guy, but he has 1 Wazari, he still wins, So it was just like, I think if like I had Wazari, he had Wazari, but I had 2 Kokas because I attempted 2 throws and he landed on their butt or side or on their front, then I would win because I had the advantage of 2 points. That's just what it is. It's just supposed to be an advantage. And I think it's interesting they're trying to bring it back for 1 point.
Yeah, I just don't. Why this? Like, it's cool that they allow more time for Newaza. They allow more gripping, free gripping, and they also allow leg grabs, which is what they mainly advertise and try to attract people with.
Yeah, what they always try to sell is that they allow leg grabbing.
Yeah, but why these points? That's the part that turns me off.
I guess if freestyle judo is trying to be like freestyle wrestling, I guess. But I think if they should just keep it simple and just bring it back, just bring Koka, Wazari, Yuko, Ippon. All right, just use the traditional point system anyways. I don't get that. I throw him for Wazari, I get 2 points, but if I hold him for a pin for 10 seconds, that's 2 Wazaris, that's 4 points in their system. So if he escapes, we stand back up. Then I throw him again for another Wazari, So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hey, I win. Yeah.
Imagine
So
doing that math in your head while someone's trying to
while trying to fight. You're gripping your head. All right. If I get one, okay, hold him down. Okay, I throw him to his belly. I get the coca. I try to roll him over. That's another 2 points right there. Hold him down. That's another 4 points.
I mean, people already game the IJF system. Can you imagine? People are like, well, I probably can't throw him on his back, so let me throw him on the front just for that one point.
Just keep throwing on their belly. Just do bad tai toshis, throw them on their bellies, and try to turn them over. That's all you're going to do.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think every rule set can be exploited. It's just, which is why it needs to be tested and modified throughout time. So personally, I just wish there was the current IJF rule sets. Bring back leg grabs, just score them differently, give them a Yuko for all leg grab attacks. Let's just say for now. That's not perfect, but I think that would placate most people with the complaints about stalling with leg grabs.
Yeah. Okay.
And gripping was a different discussion, grip rules, but definitely bring back the old Wazari and Ippon standards. I can't stand watching the current babe. Some of these guys are winning matches.
I really agree with that. I've always thought that when they took out the Murotogari, when they took out the leg grabs and stuff, that I'm not saying like I used to do it all the time or I spammed it like on people, but because I grew up as a wrestler and I'm like, oh man, this guy's really strong. I'm tired. I'll just go for a Murotogari and a guy, or I'll just go for a single leg and then go for my old school combination, single leg, Ochigari on the guy, just take him straight down, get Ippon from that. I love that back in the day. But you can't do that now because people would spam it, people would get hurt. And if they did make it so it's just a Yuko, and they used a Yuko as like how, again, in BJJs, people can understand, they use it as an advantage, I like that. Say that you Wazari, I Wazari, but I got that one Yuko, I win, you know?
Yeah. And I'll be really sad if I take a room with someone and just slam them and they're like, Yuko. Like, I'll be upset, but I'll compromise.
Really?
I'll compromise.
I think it'd be beautiful because the person won't be able to stand up afterwards. Can he get up? Is he dead? No? All right, I win. Forfeit.
Because, I mean, I understand people exploit it and somehow install anyway, but I feel like bringing back leg grabs in some form or way is like the priority. So, but that's just me. So
that's why people are trying to do these new different things with freestyle judo and bringing back Kosen Judo.
If they make this Kosen Judo rule set more available, I will just compete in that and not compete in the regular tournaments anymore.
Really?
That's just
you
me.
Become a Kosen guy.
I'll become a Kosen guy.
Nothing wrong with that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But the thing with the Kosen, we got to find a USJA tournament going to hold it here in Southern California. With freestyle judo, I actually went to a coaching clinic a few years ago, and there was this one sensei there. It says that he just taught all his people, all his students. All he taught was freestyle judo. That's what he taught, and he brought them to the Winter National Tournament. And I don't think they did that well, personally. I don't remember them doing that well.
I remember seeing them in Texas in the President's Cup, and I think it was something similar too. It just goes to show, like, you know how people are like, oh, this style is not effective, that style is not effective. It's the rule sets for the sport that you train for.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I think that most people train to win. So if you're training for IGF style tournaments, you're training for IGF style tournaments. You're training for throws and pins and submissions, big throws, quick submissions, quick chokes. That's what you're trying to get. But with a sensei that just wants to teach Kosen Judo and there's not Kosen tournaments, where you're setting your guys up to fail. That's all. You're setting your guys up. Well, here, go to battle with this dagger instead of a sword. All right, well, go to battle with this K-bar instead of a gun. You know,
it's just like jiu-jitsu guys, right? Their stances are a lot lower, which is easy to throw in judo.
A lot
in the judo rule set. So, like, if you're training day in, day out with the threat of someone grabbing your legs, your stance is not going to be that good for leg grab judo.
It's not. Yeah.
So,
or it's just like, if you just go back to it, if a guy has really low stance, like they're a BJJ guy or a wrestler and they're trying to do judo, and I can grab this grip, and you have much thicker gis on now. Wrestlers not used to having a gi on. Judo guys not used to having such a thick gi on them and stuff. You grab that grip, you can just snap them down. Just do a snap down, go behind them, and just try to make a choke them or turn them over for a pin. And they're not used to that. But with Kosen Judo, and they try that, it might be better for them. Like I said, it's a gateway. They try Kosen, they like it. They see other judo, they see big throws. They might want to come to our normal class or come to any dojo. It'd be great, you know? So I'd love to bring some Kosen back.
So like the third rule set we wanted to talk about was the fight to win rule sets, right?
Yeah, okay, so that's another style of judo that's out right now, is that the fight to win tournaments were originally BJJ tournaments or open grappling tournaments, but to get more people into it, they started doing fight to win judo. And again, Anthony has experience with this one because he actually went to one before and he didn't enjoy it that much. I watched it and I thought it was very interesting. But
I actually posted, on Reddit, the guy was promoting this on the judo subreddit, right? So I told him like, hey, like I had fun. I'm happy with what you're doing for judo and stuff, but I was like, here are some things that I didn't like about the rules, and I feel like some of the audience got bored too because of them. So again, there's no gripping rules. You can do whatever grips you want.
Yes.
There are so many times where I saw people grab the belt and they're just stiff arm. So there's nothing you can do. Mm-hmm. You're basically controlling the hit of your opponent.
Yeah.
And people I had a front row seat. People next to me were just straight up like on their phones, like talking to each other, not paying attention.
Yeah.
Because there's like nothing going on. There's no action, right? It goes back to what we were saying. The gripping rule sets exist for a reason because they want viewers to enjoy the dynamic action of judo.
Oh.
So that's a different discussion. So I feel like they should have they didn't give out a Shido the entire tournament. So I assume there was no Shidos.
Okay.
So I don't think they should get rid of the gripping rule sets, but they should at least penalize people somehow for stalling or being
passivity.
Defensive.
Yeah,
exactly. So they should at least do something about that. Also, all the fight to win events are up on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting here right now. The stage is like this high, right?
Wow. Okay.
The stage is like this high. Sitting on a table here, and this was a jiu-jitsu match, but actually one of the jiu-jitsu guys actually got thrown on top of us, and we like had to hold him up. Like,
yeah.
We're all holding him up, and we're like, holy crap! And obviously the crowd loved that, you know, like
really,
yeah.
Okay.
The crowd loved it, but for judo, you know how the judo mats, they have a square, and then you can continue your throw off the mat, right? You can't do that here. So what they did was they got really close to the edge, and then the ref, after the guy fell off, like obviously didn't want that happening again. So he went to the side, prevent them from falling.
Did the judo guy fall or BJJ guy?
No, the BJJ guy fell before in a match before.
All right.
So he didn't want that happening again. So he went to the edge, stopped him from falling, pushed the guy back. But then the Japanese judoka who was fighting there used that momentum for a drop down. So,
yeah, that's great because that reminds me of the story of back when I can't remember what, I think it was Metamoris or something, how Shinya Aoki, how he lost his Metamoris match because so Shinya Aoki's fighting another everyone knows Shinya Aoki. He's a really good judo player and BJJ guy, did really good in Japan and stuff. He's getting kind of older now, but back in his prime, like 5 years ago, like he was an amazing grappler. Like no one could take an MMA. So he had this BJJ match in Metamoris with another good BJJ guy. And they were fighting and they went to the edge of the mat and they got to the edge and Shinya Aoki started falling off. A fan came up to the ring, turned his back so they were on top of this guy's back, and they just continued the match. Shinji disengaged. He thought I was falling. He's like, oh shit, I'm falling. He got stopped. The other guy didn't stop, continue attacking Shinji.
Oh my gosh.
And submitted him. And they allowed it. They're like, oh, so he tapped. Like, he thought he was falling. He was disengaged. He wasn't fighting anymore. And that's one of the few times where he fought in America. He was like, no more of this bullshit. Like, I almost die right here. And they let the other guy win. So they're having judo on a platform.
Yeah. And
on a 4-foot platform where you could fall.
So this guy didn't lose. That he tried the Seoinage, but the guy turned out of it, so he didn't lose, right?
Yeah.
But this leads to another problem I had was the judging. Because of the stalling and the grip rules, there weren't a lot of ippons, obviously, right?
Yeah.
So based off of what I can remember, it was a while ago. Most of the judging, most of the decisions went to the judge. There was no ippon scores.
Okay.
So
because they didn't give wazaris or yukos or anything, it's just ippon only, fight to win.
I think there was wazari, but I don't think even there was that many wazaris. I don't remember the exact rules. I think there were pins and all that kind of stuff too. But yeah, so what? Oh, there was Wazaris. I remember there were Wazaris. Pretty sure. But going back to what I was going to say, one problem I had was there's two guys fighting. Let's just call them A and B, right? A was attacking in stand-up a lot more. Like he was a lot more aggressive, attacking, constantly trying throws. But B kept defending, spinning out of throws and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But once they got to the ground, like let's say he fails to drop Sananage, B would attack. So B would attack and then do all these submission attempts, all that kind of stuff. And in the end, B won because I think the judges were more
impressed with his Newaza.
Well, not impressed, but I think they understood what happened, the rules of BJJ more than judo. That's what that's my. I don't know what it was.
That was another one of my questions about this, because this is with Fight to Win, it's a grappling federation, but it's mostly a BJJ grappling federation. Like I think they do open grappling matches too, but it's mostly BJJ based. So if you have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys that know a little bit of judo, they watch a little bit, they maybe watch some YouTube videos and stuff. I'm not saying they don't know what they're talking about. I'm just saying they're not a judo guy. They don't know the rule set. They don't know the coaching stuff. They don't know the reffing stuff. And they kind of know what the Olympic rules are. And they're trying to build it from there. It can be a huge problem.
Yep.
Because if you don't understand the tachiwaza in judo, the throws, the attempts and stuff, and all you know and all you understand is the newaza point, which is the groundwork in judo, of course you're going to score that higher. Of course, I know that. I can see that. But you're not going to look at the attempts that the person's doing when they're standing. You're not going to see the attempting of throws, how he got him his hip, what should be a yuko, wazari, or koka.
Yeah. So I think they need to clarify that on the refereeing, or sorry, the judging rules a little more. Like what constitutes as being more aggressive, right?
Well, I'd like to know if these refs even know judo.
I don't know. I have no idea
if they have a judo background at all.
Because to me, the guy who was A was doing more attack. He was more aggressive, and once he got to the ground, he was defensive. But B totally attacked way less, both on the ground and the floor.
Yeah.
But I think because he had a couple of close submission attempts, they gave it to him. That's what I feel like, which is not right or wrong. Maybe that's what they count more. I mean, if that's the scoring system saying like, oh, close submission attempts are better than throwing someone in the air but they land on the front, right?
Yeah.
So it depends on how you score it.
Is their rule set supposed to be more towards Kosen Judo then? Or is it supposed to be more towards traditional judo?
Yeah.
You have to ask them that question. What is this judo supposed to be? What is this judo style supposed to simulate and be like? Because it's definitely not supposed to be IJF judo. I get that. Is this supposed to be a Kosen style of judo? Is it supposed to be a freestyle of judo, your own style?
Yep.
And I just want to know, like, do these refs know judo? Do these judges know judo? Do they have a judo background at all? Do these refs understand what stalling is and what a shido should be?
Yeah.
I don't think, do they have shidos in BJJ? I'm not sure. I don't compete in BJJ.
They have warnings. Yeah.
They do have warnings.
I don't remember exactly how it works, but I know they do have passivity warnings for. I think, for example, if you're on the top mount and you're not attacking or going for submission and you're just like there, like chilling for too long.
Okay.
Then they give you a warning. Yeah.
Do they stand you back up or do they keep you there?
I think if you don't do anything for too long, they'll stand you back up. I think. Right. And obviously there's so many BJJ rule sets out there. I'm not too familiar with them.
True.
They don't have an IJF. So, but one other problem I had was, well, I wouldn't say it's a problem, but there actually wasn't as many leg grabs as you thought there were. At least the one I watched.
Yeah.
I did see some leg grabs at the end, but that's because someone scored a Wazari. And then this is why I remembered they had a Wazari, because someone scored a Wazari and time was running out, and he was spamming leg grabs to stall.
He's spamming leg grabs still. He started spamming with Bugatti. He was like, shit, Wazari, just get the Bugatti. I'm trying to get Wazari here.
He was gassed out, so he was just trying to stall. So there's that. I talked about it, and let's just say the promoter was not happy with my comments. And he was like, well, why don't you come up and fight then? And I'm just like,
hey, tough guy. You think you're so tough? Why don't you fight in my tournament? Why don't you come fight over here?
And then I was like, I was giving you constructive criticism of the rules. I don't know why that has anything to do with me coming up to fight. But I would not like to get thrown off the stage, so I think I'm good.
From a judo guy trying to help you out, okay?
Yeah.
But that is crazy that they are on a platform also, and it's like 4 feet high. You're saying, like, it seems pretty high.
It felt pretty high. I remember I had to look up, and I'm a tall guy. So.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Why wouldn't they just put on the floor or like?
Yeah, it's a stage, and it's easier for people to see when it's raised up.
I don't know, but
it is easier to see.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, but that sucks. You might get thrown off a stage.
Imagine
if you got tomonage, you're at the edge, you just tomonage the guy into a table or somebody. That'd be awesome.
So you can ask Richard about this. He was there with me. But the worst part about it was we sat next to this drunk guy, like this middle-aged drunk guy. And he was like, back in my day, this wouldn't work. I would just gouge his eyes out, or like I would like hit him in the neck, elbow him. I'm like, why are you here? And I found out.
Yeah, I'll pull his eye out, make him look at himself.
I found out the guy who invited him was the mayor of the Huntington Beach.
Okay.
Was it Huntington Beach? Yeah, I think it was Huntington Beach. And
I think it was Long Beach. Wasn't it in Long Beach?
No, this was in Commerce, the casino.
Okay. Yes. Oh, okay, yeah.
So the mayor actually sponsored one of the BJJ fighters, and he invited his friend here. And the mayor was just like so embarrassed because this guy was just like talking shit the entire time about how jiu-jitsu doesn't work, and he would fuck all these people up, how he should just take off his shirt and like go up and fuck these guys up. Like
he's probably one of those guys like, hit him in the nuts, get him in the ball.
Yeah, he was like, he was looking at me. He was like, "Do you train this shit?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." And he was like, "You look like a smart guy. Why don't you go train something more useful like boxing?" And I was like, whatever, man.
I'm a grappler. I like grabbing onto people and tying them in knots. I like throwing them across a room.
Yeah, but I think we need more stuff like that. We need to think outside the box and do more promotions like that.
Well, thinking outside the box, there is another style of judo. I can't remember what the name of it is or how the tournament goes, but I get the flyer every year for it because I'm from the Bay Area. So in the Bay, there's a big fitness convention. And at this convention, they have all these great things. They have a Taekwondo tournament. They have...
You're not talking about Arnold, right?
No, it's not an Arnold thing. It's like some fitness, Bay Area, Santa Clara, San Jose thing. I can't remember what it is, but it's a really cool place. So they have Taekwondo, karate, boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai. It's this big fitness thing. They have all these martial art tournaments and things going on at the same time. They even have pro wrestling. But the thing they have for us is they have BJJ. And I think they also have a catch wrestling thing there too, or at least a submission grappling. But they have a judo tournament. But the way that they run their judo tournament is it's by ippon only. Well, yeah, it's by ippon only, but it's only throws. So what that means is that there is no newaza. No newaza. I can't remember if it's a 3-minute round or a 4-minute round or 5-minute round. I can't remember which one it is. I think it was a 3-minute round because I was thinking anything past 3 minutes, all tachiwaza fighting would kill somebody.
So that sounds really familiar. I think it was one of those countries, Central Asian countries. They have this version of their folk style grappling and jackets. That's basically judo without newaza.
Kind of, but the way this tournament works is that so you get 3 minutes to fight the person. It's only tachiwaza, and it's 2 ippons to win. I can't remember if they had wazaris also. They might have wazaris, but I remember it was you had to get 2. So it'd be 2 ippons to win or 4 wazaris to win, or wazari was at
4 wazaris as well.
Yeah, but it's 3-minute rounds, and it was all tachiwaza, which to me just sounds like death. They're like just fighting for 3 minutes straight, all tachiwaza.
Yeah.
Oh, that just sounds like that would just give me a heart attack. Sounds fun and interesting. God, was it 3-minute rounds? I think it was even longer than that because I thought it was like impossible. I think it was maybe like 4 or 5-minute rounds. But that's a different style of judo that some people are trying to promote.
Do you want to try that?
Oh man.
Oh,
I'll try almost any grappling one time. So I probably, if they had it out down south, I probably would do it. If they had it down here at a weekend, I might try it.
Drive to the Bay Area and compete for a weekend.
For a weekend, yeah. And my friend does this thing. He competes in the kickboxing and the pro wrestling thing out there. And he said it's a really cool place. It's at the Santa Clara Convention Center. everywhere you look, there's just martial arts going on, demonstrations, booths. It's just the most coolest thing. So
I remember
something like that here in LA.
I remember the name of the one I was thinking of. It's called Karash. So
Rush. All right.
It's Central Asian country, yeah. So have you heard of stories about some of those top IJF players getting banned for competing in other grappling tournaments?
Yeah, I've heard of guys almost getting fired for BJJ. Yes.
Yeah, so I think they were competing in this basically because it's basically judo without Newaza.
So, okay.
Yeah.
So there's all these different styles out there. Like you have this one that was all stand up, all tachiwaza, no newaza. You have Kosen Judo, and a lot of people go back to that and want to say that that's how they want to compete. Like you said, you're interested in competing that. They have Freestyle Judo now. They have this thing at Fight to Win, which I don't know what you would call that style of judo, but I have
Fight to Win Judo.
Yeah, I guess Fight to Win style judo.
That's what they've been calling it. Yeah.
That's just what they Fight to Win style. Fight to Win. Yes.
I really like Fight to Win. I think I want them to succeed.
I want all judo to succeed. All right. I want everyone to do well.
Yeah. And I think we need more variety of rule sets. We can't just do IJF judo, which is only going to attract one type of person. So.
Well, like I said, if more judo tournaments were going to do like Kosen rules, they need to integrate it more. Like I said, if we have a 4-mat tournament, give 2 mats to the kids, 2 mats to the youth, give 1 mat to the adults so the adults can fight at the same time, and then do a Kosen mat.
Yeah. So here's a question.
Okay.
Do you think you know how they have insurance for events, right? Do you think they don't cover it if you don't use the official IJF rule sets? That might be why they told me.
I absolutely yes. Thinking about that, absolutely, I think so. That's why USJA is trying to come out with a rule set. So at their tournaments,
that's why they're not advertising it. Yeah,
they're covered. Well, no, it's because it's their tournaments, their style. They get covered by their insurance because you're underneath their card, or they're being held by their tournament insurance. You'd say. So that's why. I couldn't say USJF doing it because they're so traditional and old school. I can actually see them going to like a very old school style of judo, like something that's really like, I would see them going back to like 1970s or 60s style judo before doing a Kosen tournament.
Have you seen old like judo footage? Like I actually was reading an interview with Okano, and he was talking about how he believes there shouldn't be grip fighting. Basically, I'm kind of like probably misinterpreting what he said, but basically he's saying back then people allowed you to grip for attacks and stuff, and there should be more of that. Yeah. You can see like even at top level like Kodokan Cup tournaments and stuff, All Japan, they weren't like doing all these grip breaks and stuff that we see now. So
yeah. Well, I guess it's the way you're taught, because if you're taught in Japan just to grab the traditional grip and throw from there, then that's just how you fight. I know me personally, I don't like to grip fight that much. I like to just get a grip and then go from there. I won't grip fight a whole lot. It's not part of my style. I like to get 1 to 2 different style grips and that's it. Pretty boring. But I throw people from it, so it works for me.
I think we're coming short on time, so is there anything else? Yeah.
That's it.
I started timing because we kept going over too much.
Where are we at right now? What time are we?
48 minutes.
48 minutes? That's good. It's a good time. So, like we were telling you, there's just different style of judos out there. Hopefully you can find one that helps you out, the one that you like, that helps your style of judo the most. But it all starts at regular judo, so you got to join a regular tournament. I mean, not a regular tournament, join a regular dojo.
Yeah, and if you're interested in any of those rule sets that we just mentioned, like don't hesitate to volunteer to support it and try and help it become popular, or contact the people who run that organization and get more information how you can help and stuff. Because I mean, judo is a grassroots sports at least in the United States. So
please help judo, everybody. Please help us out some way or another. We're a fun sport. It's better than throwing somebody on the ground. That's great. But other than that, please like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me and Anthony on Instagram. Anthony at Anthony Throws. Me at the GR8 and GR8_1.
I was like, there's underscore, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot my underscore sometimes. I gotta put that in there. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to email us, leave it in the comments section. Facebook, not Facebook, our YouTube channel. No, not yet. Maybe later. If we get enough subscribers, maybe we will. Who knows? We'll get more stuff as we get more subscribers. But yeah, follow us on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe there if you want to as well. Leave questions if you need anything. And
you guys in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, in 2 weeks.
Yep. Bye.